Rashida thought she had seen it all. After years of standing by Kirk through betrayal, scandal, and more than one headline-worthy crisis, she believed their bond had survived the worst. But nothing, and we mean nothing, could have prepared her for the earth-shattering announcement that came out of nowhere, sending shockwaves through Atlanta and setting the internet ablaze. Kirk Frost has proposed to Jasmine Washington. Yes, the same Jasmine who once tore Rashida's world apart. The same Jasmine who was at the center of the most explosive cheating scandal in love and hip-hop history, is now being called the future Mrs. Frost. The news broke late last night after Jasmine posted a cryptic Instagram story showing off what looked like an engagement ring, followed by a blurry shot of Kirk and her cuddled up in what appeared to be a fancy rooftop dinner setting. Within minutes, fans were in a frenzy, comments poured in. Rashida went completely silent on social media, and insiders started whispering that this wasn't a rumor, it was real. Emotions ran high as those close to the couple revealed that Rashida was blindsided, discovering the engagement through social media like everyone else. Sources say Rashida broke down in tears, confronting Kirk in a heated exchange that reportedly left both emotionally shattered. And while some claim it's a stunt for ratings, others believe this could truly be the final nail in the coffin of Rashida and Kirk's already fragile relationship. Friends of the couple are said to be divided, with some backing Kirk's right to move on and others furious over the ultimate betrayal of a woman who stood by him when no one else would. But this isn't just a love triangle, it's a full-blown emotional battlefield. What drove Kirk to make this decision? How did Jasmine sneak back into his heart? And most importantly, where does Rashida go from here? Buckle up, because what unfolds next is a story filled with deception, heartbreak, unexpected allies, and a bombshell twist that no one saw coming. Stay with us, because this isn't just drama. It's reality TV madness turned all the way up. ChatGPT said, "It started like any other quiet morning in Atlanta until the news hit like a lightning bolt straight to Rashida's heart." She was in the kitchen, sipping her green juice, scrolling through her phone, completely unaware that her world was about to flip upside down. The moment her thumb paused over Jasmine Washington's Instagram story, her heart skipped a beat. There, sparkling under dim candlelight, was an unmistakably expensive diamond ring resting on Jasmine's finger with the caption, "He finally made it official. Hashtag future Mrs. Frost." Rashida's glass slipped from her hand and shattered on the marble floor. Time stood still. Her vision blurred, but it wasn't from the broken glass, it was the weight of betrayal crashing over her, heavier than ever before. She hadn't heard a word from Kirk. Not a hint, not a warning, nothing. And now the world was watching as the man she fought so hard to forgive was parading a new engagement as if Rashida never existed. Within minutes, Rashida's phone blew up. Texts, calls, screenshots. Her hairstylist sent a voice note, sobbing. Her cousin Kiki demanded to know if it was real. Even Carly Red sent her a DM simply reading, "Girl, call me." But Rashida couldn't speak. She locked herself in the bathroom and stared at her own reflection, numb. The woman who had taken Kirk back after Jasmine's first betrayal, after the baby scandal, the secret meetings, the public humiliation, was now watching it all happen. Again, only this time, it wasn't a fling. It was a proposal. A future. A marriage. Later that day, Kirk walked into the house like he didn't just light a match to everything they built. Rashida was waiting for him in silence. "So, you couldn't even tell me," she said, her voice trembling but steady. Kirk froze. "I was going to Rashida. I just didn't know how." His eyes didn't meet hers. "You didn't know how to tell your wife that you're marrying the woman who destroyed our family?" She spat, her calm unraveling into rage. Kirk tried to explain, saying things had been complicated, that Jasmine had changed, and that he didn't mean to hurt her. But Rashida wasn't buying it. "You always don't mean to hurt me, but somehow, I'm always the one bleeding," she snapped. The shouting began. Voices echoed through the house. "You said it was over with her," Rashida screamed. "You begged me for another chance. I stood by you like a damn fool. You left me emotionally, Rashida," Kirk roared back. "You checked out a long time ago, and Jasmine, she actually listens to me." That was it. That sentence. The one that shattered Rashida more than the ring ever could. He had justified it, blamed her. That's when she grabbed her purse, walked past him without another word, and slammed the door so hard the walls trembled. Outside, paparazzi had already swarmed. Somehow, the story had leaked beyond Instagram. A few gossip bloggers were already live streaming outside their gated community. Rashida held her head high and didn't say a word as cameras clicked around her. But once she got into her car, she screamed into her hands. The betrayal wasn't just emotional, it was public. And in her world, public betrayal was 10 times more brutal. Everyone had an opinion. The fan base that once adored Rashida and Kirk's resilience now split into two factions. Team Rashida trended on Twitter, while others, shockingly, congratulated Jasmine, calling her the one who won. Meanwhile, Jasmine was basking in the chaos. She posted a video of her twirling in a white dress to Beyoncé's, followed by another story of her kissing Kirk's cheek, flashing the ring again. Fans flooded her comments. Some called her a homewrecker, others praised her for finally getting what she deserved. One commenter wrote, "Sis played the long game and won." But behind the glam filters and curated smiles, sources say Jasmine was anxious. She knows she stirred a hornet's nest, an insider revealed. She thought this would give her validation. But now she's panicking because she didn't expect Rashida to go silent like that. Rashida's silence is louder than words. Jasmine is starting to feel the heat. Indeed, Rashida's silence became its own storm. She deactivated her Instagram. She canceled her upcoming appearance on a beauty brand panel. And she reportedly left her pressed boutique early, avoiding all cameras. Friends say she's gone completely off-grid, with one close friend revealing, "This broke her." This one hit different. She always feared Kirk still had unfinished business with Jasmine, but marriage? That's a whole new level of disrespect. At the same time, Kirk's oldest son from a previous relationship reportedly got into a heated argument with him over the decision. "You're tearing this family apart?" Again, he allegedly shouted at his father during a tense meeting at their house. The tension even spilled over into the Love and Hip Hop cast group chat, where people took sides. Young Jock reportedly told Kirk to man up and clean up this mess, while Spice blasted Jasmine in the chat saying, "You're nothing but a clout chaser." The chat exploded so hard that Mona Scott-Young herself had to step in and urge everyone to keep it professional, at least until filming resumes. As the drama unfolded, Rashida's mother, Charlene, entered the picture, and when Charlene's in, you know it's about to go up a notch. Charlene was furious. She showed up at Kirk's office the next morning and let loose. "You think you're a man? You're a coward," she shouted, according to a witness. "My daughter gave you everything, her youth, her loyalty, her forgiveness, and you throw it all away for some little Instagram attention." Kirk tried to explain himself, but Charlene wasn't having it. "If you marry that girl, don't you ever speak to this family again," she warned. "You're dead to us." Inside the chaos, Jasmine began to feel the cracks forming. The shine of the ring wasn't enough to silence the guilt creeping in. Sources say she tried to call Rashida once, maybe twice, but Rashida never picked up. She wanted to justify it, a friend said. She wanted to say, it wasn't personal, but of course it was. Jasmine wanted to be Rashida. She's always wanted the spotlight, the lifestyle, the loyalty Rashida had, but the most shocking part, that was yet to come. Just when everyone thought they'd seen the peak of this saga, a leaked audio message from Kirk surfaced, and what he said in it made everything worse. In the leaked audio, which rapidly circulated across social media and even made it to major gossip blogs within hours, Kirk could be heard in what sounded like a private phone call, angry, flustered, and speaking to someone who was clearly not Jasmine. His voice cracked under pressure as he said, "Man, this whole thing got out of hand. I ain't even sure I wanna marry her. It was supposed to be a gesture, you know, something, to shut her up." The line was followed by silence. Then a voice, possibly one of Kirk's old friends, responding, "You proposed to shut her up." Kirk sighed. "Man, she was threatening to expose stuff. Things I ain't ready for Rashida to hear. I had to play it smart." That line alone caused a social media meltdown. Fans were stunned. Was the engagement fake? A manipulation? A cover-up? Thousands of furious comments flooded Kirk's page. Jasmine's comments got turned off, and Rashida had remained quiet until now finally reappeared on her Instagram story with just 5 words. "Now y'all see the truth." The cryptic message sent her followers into overdrive. Within an hour, hashtags like #Justice for Rasheeda and #ExposeKirk were trending. Even Rashida's old business partners released statements defending her character and slamming Kirk for his manipulation and betrayal. As public opinion turned sharply against Kirk, Jasmine panicked. According to insiders close to her, she confronted Kirk that same night. Screaming matches echoed through the halls of his condo building, where neighbors reported hearing glass breaking and Jasmine yelling, You used me, I gave you everything, and you made me look like a damn fool. Kirk, cornered, tried to calm her down, but Jasmine wasn't having it. You promised me a life. You gave me a ring, a dream, and a whole internet circus. She allegedly tossed the engagement ring at him before storming out barefoot. The next morning, Kirk showed up at Rashida's doorstep unannounced, tired, disheveled, and looking more broken than ever. He knocked for several minutes before Charlene opened the door. "Turn your sorry self around," she growled, but Rashida's voice called from behind, "Let him speak." Kirk stepped inside slowly, his eyes never leaving the ground. "I messed up," he began, voice hoarse. "You didn't mess up," Rashida said, arms folded. "You built an entire fantasy on the ruins of my loyalty. That's not a mistake. That's a choice." He tried to defend himself, talking about how lost he felt in the marriage. How he thought Jasmine understood parts of him Rashida never acknowledged, but Rashida wasn't buying it. "I gave you grace, Kirk," she said. "I gave you forgiveness. I rebuilt our family when the world mocked me for it. And you spit on all of it. For a girl you claim you never even wanted to marry." He broke down. "I didn't know what else to do. She had dirt, Rashida. She had things that could ruin me. I panicked." Rashida looked at him with disgust and disbelief. "And instead of coming to your wife, your partner, you ran to the same woman who destroyed everything once already. You don't deserve me. Not then, not now, not ever." Meanwhile, Jasmine tried to regain control of the narrative. She went live on Instagram, teary-eyed and makeup-free, telling her followers, "I didn't know he was still playing games. I thought it was real. I thought he loved me. If I'm guilty of anything, it's falling for a man who lies to everyone." But the internet wasn't sympathetic. Most fans called her out for playing victim, with one viral comment reading, "You knew exactly what you were doing. You don't get to cry now." To make matters worse, Jasmine's ex-boyfriend, yes, the one she was allegedly dating before Kirk popped, the question came forward with his side of the story. In an exclusive interview with a gossip channel, he claimed, Jasmine was never over Kirk. She'd talk about him constantly. But when he didn't commit, she'd run to me. I was the backup plan. And now she's the one getting played. Ironic. His revelations added another layer of chaos to an already burning situation. At the Love and Hip Hop production office, producers were reportedly scrambling. The drama was too explosive to ignore, but Mona Scott-Young was torn between capitalizing on the buzz and protecting Rashida's emotional state. Insiders claimed a private meeting was called between Rashida, Mona, and the top producers to figure out how to ethically navigate the situation. On camera, Rashida was clear. "I'm not here for ratings. I'm here for my dignity." But when Mona hinted that this could be the most watched season in franchise history, Rashida paused. Outside the cameras, Rashida leaned on her real friends. Candy Burris, who's been a longtime supporter, invited her for a girls' weekend to detox from the madness. Rashida agreed and left town for a few days, posting a photo of her feet in the sand with the caption, "Peace greater than chaos." Fans rejoiced. Her strength inspired thousands of women who had also endured betrayal. And some even called for a new reality series focused on Rashida's next chapter, without Kirk. But Kirk wasn't done. In a desperate attempt to fix things, he made a public statement via Instagram Live. "I've made more mistakes than I can count," he admitted. "And I hurt the one person who stood by me when everyone else turned away. Rashida, I'm sorry. I was scared. I was stupid. And I still love you." He ended the video visibly emotional, but for many fans, it was too little, too late. And while Jasmine disappeared from social media completely for several days, rumors began swirling that she was shopping around her own tell-all book deal, one that promised to blow the lid off Kirk's secrets once and for all. Word is, publishers are already bidding, and if that happens, more skeletons might come flying out of Kirk's already overflowing closet. Back at home, Rashida stood firm. She wasn't making any hasty decisions. Her focus now was on healing, her kids, and her business empire. "Let the internet eat itself," she reportedly told a close friend. "I've got real-life peace to protect." But just when everyone thought the worst was behind them, a new video leak surfaced. And this one could change everything. The leaked video shook the internet in a way no one could have predicted. It wasn't just a casual clip or another messy. Recording it was clear, deliberate, and emotionally raw. In the footage, filmed secretly by someone in Jasmine's inner circle, Kirk and Jasmine were seen having an intense argument on her balcony. The setting was intimate, dusk lighting, wine glasses on the table, the faint sound of the city in the background. But the words exchanged were anything but romantic. "You told me she was done. You said you left her." Jasmine snapped, her voice breaking. Kirk, pacing like a man trapped between two collapsing worlds, yelled back, "I told you what I had to say to keep things quiet." Jasmine's jaw dropped. So this was all fake. The ring, the promises, the future you used me. Kirk didn't answer immediately, but his silence said it all. And that was the moment Jasmine realized she wasn't the love of Kirk's life. She was his damage control. "I gave up everything for you, Kirk," she cried. "I even turned the world against me just to be with you. You can't even say you love me." Kirk exploded. "I never asked you to give anything up. You chased me, Jasmine. I made a mistake sleeping with you once, and now I'm paying for it over and over again." The video ended with Jasmine throwing her wine glass against the wall, screaming, "You'll regret this. I'll make sure of it." The fallout was immediate. Fan pages reposted the video, dissecting every word. Comment sections were flooded with messages like "Jasmine got played hard," and "Kirk just ended his own legacy." Rashida didn't comment publicly, but she did post a photo of herself at a dinner party, laughing with friends, captioned, "God don't miss." The internet took that as a confirmation. Rashida was done mourning. She was ready to rise, but things took a darker turn when Jasmine's alleged cousin went live on TikTok, claiming Kirk paid Jasmine hush money over the years to keep certain secrets under wraps. "This ain't about love. It's about blackmail," she said. Jasmine knew things that could ruin him. She never had his heart, she had his fear. That TikTok alone racked up over 3 million views in 24 hours. Theories swirled. Some believed Kirk had secret business dealings. Others thought there was a second child no one knew about. Some even speculated Jasmine had receipts from years ago, proving multiple affairs Kirk had hidden from even Rashida. The pressure on Kirk became unbearable. He disappeared from public view. Reports emerged that he was hospitalized briefly due to stress-related issues. Sources close to him said, "He's not eating, he's not sleeping." This whole situation blew up in his face in ways he never saw coming. But if he thought time would soften the backlash, he was wrong, because just a week later, Jasmine made a return with her own exclusive sit-down interview. The setting was elegant white couches, floral background, soft lighting. She sat across from a well-known YouTube journalist, dressed in a pale pink suit, her face composed but sad. "I never wanted to be the villain," she began, voice trembling. "I didn't wake up one day and say, 'Let me break up a marriage.' I fell in love with someone who gave me mixed signals for years, and I believed him. I believed we had a future. I thought he loved me." When asked about the ring, Jasmine confirmed it. "Yes, he proposed. It was real for me. Whether it was real for him, I still don't know." Then came the bombshell. Jasmine pulled out a folder. Inside were screenshots, receipts, and what appeared to be copies of wire transfers. She claimed Kirk had been paying her quietly for years to not speak out about their continued off-and-on relationship. "He never stopped seeing me. Even when he and Rashida were doing interviews saying they had healed, he'd sneak over. He lied to both of us. I just have the proof." The journalist was stunned. "Are you saying this was ongoing for how long?" Jasmine replied coldly, "Since before their vow renewal. Since before he begged for forgiveness on national TV." The impact was nuclear. Rashida's fanbase went feral. They flooded Kirk's old apology posts with comments like, "You lied then too? And you broke her heart again," for ratings. Bloggers dubbed Jasmine the scorned mistress turned whistleblower. While Kirk was painted as a man who manipulated two women for years under the guise of confusion and regret, Rashida, once again, said nothing publicly, but someone close to her leaked a group text where she allegedly wrote, "There's nothing left to say, he played with my soul. That's unforgivable." Mona Scott-Young now had a goldmine in her hands. Every network wanted a piece of the story. Streaming platforms offered Rashida solo show deals. Jasmine was reportedly approached to write a memoir, and Kirk. He vanished. Literally. Insiders claimed he flew to Jamaica to clear his head, but fans weren't convinced. Some say he's hiding. Others say he's preparing to spin the narrative once again. But one thing was certain. This was no longer just a love triangle, it was a full-blown war for truth, revenge, and survival. And in the quiet of Rashida's home, as she tucked her kids into bed and deleted old photos from her phone, one final message sat in her drafts. She hadn't posted it yet. It simply read, "Never again. But thank you for showing me who you really are." The world waited, breathless, for what she would do next. The silence before Rashida's next move was deafening, while the world buzzed with theories, reactions, and think pieces dissecting every angle of the Kirk-Jasmine saga. Rashida was curating something far more powerful than a clapback. She was reclaiming her peace and her platform. 3 weeks after the leaked footage, the betrayal and Jasmine's tell-all interview, Rashida emerged it with tears or rage but with strategy. She hosted a surprise Instagram Live, titled only, "Let's Talk." Over 120,000 people joined within the first 2 minutes. What they witnessed was not a broken woman but a rebirth. Rashida appeared in a soft white outfit, glowing, calm, with a quiet fire in her eyes. First of all, she began, "I want to thank y'all. The support, the prayers, the messages, I felt it, I needed it, and it saved me." Her voice wavered slightly, but she kept going. "Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, I saw the video. Yes, I saw the interview. Yes, everything you think happened. Probably did, but I'm not here to drag anybody. I'm here to free myself from the weight of holding it in." She paused. "Kirk Frost is no longer my husband. I filed for divorce." The chat exploded. Emojis, cries of support, tears, hearts, fire emojis. It was all there. Rashida let the moment sink in, then continued, "I spent years trying to fix a man who didn't want to be fixed. I thought love could change him. I thought loyalty meant accepting pain. I thought forgiveness meant I had to lose myself in the process. But I was wrong. I don't hate him. I just love me more now." Then came the twist that sent fans spiraling into stunned applause. Rashida revealed she'd been working on a documentary for over a year long before the engagement. Bomb dropped chronicling her life, her career, her marriage, and her silent struggles. "I've been recording everything. The therapy, the late nights, the confessions, even the breakdowns. Not for clout but for every woman who stayed too long because she didn't know how to leave." She smiled, bittersweet. And now, I know, the docuseries titled Unpressed, The Rashida Story, was picked up by a major streaming service within 48 hours of the announcement. Trailers dropped, showing never-before-seen footage of Rashida crying alone backstage, hidden recordings of arguments with Kirk, and raw moments of her praying in the studio bathroom during filming breaks. The world now saw a woman who was more than just a reality star or a wife. She was a survivor of emotional warfare. But even as Rashida took back her narrative, Jasmine wasn't done. Not even close. In what fans are now calling one of the pettiest moves in reality TV history, Jasmine announced her own podcast, called Side Chick No More, and in the first episode, she claimed Rashida knew about the ongoing affair for years. She didn't want to lose her image. That's all, Jasmine said. She didn't want to be the woman who failed. So she let him lie, and I let him lie, and we both played our parts. But fans were over it. While a few tuned in out of curiosity, the majority slammed Jasmine for profiting off pain and rewriting the story to make herself the victim again. Then, Kirk's silence broke, but not with a bang. He was photographed alone in an Atlanta park, looking worn, defeated, and noticeably thinner. When paparazzi approached, he muttered, "I lost everything. That's all I'll say." Days later, in a video posted quietly to his YouTube channel, he gave a statement. "I hurt 2 women who never deserved it. I lied to save my name and ended up destroying it anyway. There's no excuse. I just asked that y'all let them heal, and let me disappear." The public seemed to agree. Kirk's reputation was in ruins. Brands distanced themselves. Club appearances dried up. He went from being a controversial figure to a cautionary tale. Rashida, on the other hand, was flourishing. Her store, Pressed, was expanding to 2 more cities. She released a new makeup line named Reset, with each shade named after a phase of healing, denial, anger, acceptance, and freedom. It sold out in 3 hours. A month later, at the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunion, Rashida made a surprise appearance. When asked how she was doing, she smiled and said, "I'm not surviving anymore. I'm thriving." She didn't cry. She didn't break. She didn't shade. She simply said, "Let this be the last time we glorify pain. Let this be the first time we talk about healing." Jasmine wasn't invited to the reunion taping. Kirk, though present, was silent the entire time, offering a weak apology before walking off set early. Fans took to social media to declare it Rashida's moment, her redemption arc, her elevation. But Rashida wasn't stopping there. She hinted in an interview that a scripted drama series was in development based loosely on her life. "It's fiction," she smiled. "But the pain. That part's very real." She's also working on a book titled Unfollowed Love, detailing the art of letting go in the age of public relationships and private suffering. Back in the shadows, Jasmine reportedly signed on for a spin-off with a different network, but buzz was low. Even the most loyal drama fans had grown weary of her narrative. As one viral comment put it, Jasmine was the plot twist. Rashida is the whole damn story. And so, the saga that began with betrayal ended in rebirth. The ring, the lies, the drama, it all faded. What remained was Rashida, stronger, wiser, and finally, free. But just when it seemed like the dust was finally beginning to settle, and Rashida had claimed the peaceful future she deserved, one final ripple emerged, an unexpected twist that no one, not even Rashida, could have seen coming. It began with a quiet message. A direct message from a verified account on Instagram, belonging to a woman named Tina Brooks. A name unknown to most fans but deeply significant to Kirk. Tina wasn't just any woman, she was a former business associate from years ago, someone who once had dealings with Frost's early music ventures. But what she dropped into Rashida's inbox was more than a greeting. It was a warning. The message read, "Sis, you don't know the half. He lied to both of us. Call me." And attached was a voice memo. Rashida sat frozen as she listened. Tina's voice was shaky but resolute as she confessed. "Back in 2017, he said y'all were separated. We were involved for nearly 8 months. He told me Jasmine was a mistake, and that he was trying to move forward, but with someone who respected his hustle. He never said y'all were still together. He played me. Just like her. Just like you." The floodgates burst open. Tina continued, detailing moments, messages, receipts, some of which she offered to send if Rashida wanted to verify. It was yet another layer to the web of deception Kirk had spun for years behind every woman's back. But Rashida didn't respond to Tina. She didn't explode online. She didn't spiral. She meditated, because this time, she was done collecting betrayal like it was her burden. What she did instead shocked everyone. She announced an event, a live taping, a one-night-only special called The Truth Table. Rashida Uncensored, with select friends, family, and yes, surprise guests. Fans speculated Jasmine might appear. Others hoped Shirlene would speak her piece. What they didn't expect, Tina Brooks walking onto that stage. The audience gasped as Tina stepped forward. The two women hugged. Not as enemies, not as rivals, but as survivors of the same lie. "It's time we stopped blaming each other for a man's dishonesty," Rashida said, eyes welling up. "He kept us apart, so we couldn't compare notes, so we couldn't see the pattern. That ends tonight." They compared minds. They read text messages aloud. They shared heartbreak, disbelief, even laughter at how ridiculous it had all become. But more importantly, they closed the book together. As for Kirk, he wasn't present. In a statement to producers, he declined the invitation to appear. "This has gone too far," he wrote. "I've said what I needed to say." But even that silence spoke volumes. It confirmed what everyone now believed. Kirk had built an empire of lies, and now he was watching it collapse without lifting a finger. The special aired on a major network and broke viewership records for the season. Women across the globe praised Rashida for her courage, her composure, and her refusal to stay silent. Hashtags like #TruthTable and #UncensoredQueen trended for days. The episode ended with Rashida standing alone on the stage, spotlight glowing. As she said, "Closure doesn't come when someone says sorry. Closure comes when you say, no more. And today, I say it loud and proud, no more." The aftermath. Rashida was invited to speak on national talk shows about relationship, trauma, emotional manipulation, and the strength to walk away. She launched a foundation for women recovering from toxic public breakups, called the Reset Project, offering therapy grants, business mentorship, and healing retreats. Jasmine, surprisingly, reached out again, but not to fight. She sent a handwritten letter. In it she wrote, "You didn't deserve any of this. If I could undo the pain, I would. But maybe we both grew stronger because of it." Whether Rashida responded remains unknown, but insiders say she keeps the letter in her nightstand. Not as a trophy of war, but as a reminder that healing often begins in the most unexpected places. As for Kirk, the man who once sat at the center of Rashida's world, His presence has nearly disappeared from public life. No shows. No business deals. No statements. Just quiet. Some say he's in therapy. Others say he's left Atlanta altogether. But one thing is certain, he's no longer part of Rashida's story. She rewrote the ending. Not with revenge, not with hate, but with truth, power, and grace. And so, the love story that began with promise and crumbled under the weight of deceit came to its final chapter. Not with a reunion, not with regret, but with a woman rising from the ashes, wiser, bolder, and finally, unshackled. Rashida proved that while betrayal can break you, it can also build you into someone stronger than you ever imagined. Now, the cameras fade, the noise quiets, the world watches, and Rashida walks forward head high, heart whole, truth intact. And just like that, the saga that once threatened to break Rashida became the very fuel that rebuilt her. What started as a headline about betrayal turned into a global conversation about strength, truth, and letting go. From being blindsided by Kirk's shocking engagement to Jasmine, to facing years of hidden lies, secret recordings, and unexpected confessions, Rashida didn't just survive the storm, she became the calm after it. Fans who once saw her as the quiet wife in the background, now see a woman who redefined the meaning of power, not in how loud you yell, but in how firmly you walk away when your soul is no longer safe. But questions still linger. Will Jasmine fade into the background or come forward with even more secrets? Will Kirk ever tell his full truth, or has he vanished for good? And most importantly, will Rashida ever let love in again, after having her trust shattered so many times? We'll have to wait and see. One thing is certain though, Rashida is no longer holding her tongue for anyone. She's building her own empire, on her terms, without the weight of lies dragging her down. So what do you think? Did Kirk ever truly love Rashida, or was it all manipulation? Was Jasmine a pawn or a partner in crime? And do you believe Rashida's best chapter is still ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we're reading everything. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, because more jaw-dropping stories and truth-bearing tea are coming your way soon. Until then, remember, betrayal may end a chapter, but it never ends your story. Stay tuned, stay curious, and stay real.